What you looking at, stranger?
The clientele is predominantly male.
Tell me something I don't know.
I meant nothing by it. I'm just wondering what a woman like you is doing in this flea trap.
And I'm wondering what could be going through the head of the chump who goes to disturb her. Let me drink, stranger. I told you to beat it.
Do you like our song?
We're true sirens.
We may not be pros, but we give it all we've got.
That's true. It's a reminder of the time when we were still fishing for whales off Darkwater Island.
I've never heard this song before.
Only people from here know it. It tells the story of the miraculous catch.
It's a local legend?
Watch what you say, young man.
That catch saved our island.
Ah. Where's the proof?
We're the proof.
Without it, the whole of Darkwater would have died of hunger in 1847.
It's true. Everything happened just as it says in the newspaper report.
What report?
The one that's framed right behind you. Our grandparents tasted its flesh.
And it was delicious.
What brought whaling to an end?
The whales, of course.
They all disappeared.
You exhausted the stocks.
You could say that, yes. There were fewer and fewer of them.
Until the last, the biggest.
The one of the miraculous catch.
Exactly.
I bid you farewell, gentlemen.
Good night, stranger.
So long.
If I had the wing of the girly boys.
Nightmares. Can hear things and voices whispering. Will follow its reader and appear at various locations, gifted with its own consciousness, until it finds a new reader. Ah, that's it. Maybe we should let him take it. No, the risks are too high. It's a book, after all. Pure knowledge.
The miraculous catch. Apparently, the most significant event of the last 80 years.
And then he said, "You have no right to treat us like this."
And the doctor, what did he say?
He laughed.
My God.
You said it.
She will do it again, you know.
Oh,
The girl doctor. Cold. She won't stop asking.
not that again.
Fishing equipment. Could do with some rust remover. A souvenir from a more prosperous era. I guess this blackboard hasn't been wiped for more than 70 years. The Scylla. It finished up beached at the entrance to the harbor.
I've brought out the Charles Hawkins cargo manifests. They're on the table next to you. But in truth, you're likely to be disappointed. When you're done, come join me on the deck.
These manifests are signed by Charles Hawkins. But that's all I'll get from them. This man and Fitzroy could be twins. What a macabre souvenir.
From here, I see everything that goes on in the harbor. The hard-working lives of my sailors, the fights at the stranded whale. Even the antics of these wharf rats don't escape me.
It's you who lays down the law around here.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I'm just the last serving captain on Darkwater. Tell me what I can do to help you.
Your manifests have been blacked out. They're totally unreadable.
Yeah, I saw that. I've got no idea who did it or why. I don't remember having countersigned anything special enough for someone to hide it.
And why obliterate the dates, as well as the goods stored in the warehouse?
You mean that the dates have some meaning?
I'm surprised Charles Hawkins had goods to store, knowing that whaling stopped in 1847.
I see that you're interested in the history of our island. Indeed, maritime activities ceased altogether at the end of the last century. I imagine that the Hawkins family had other types of contracts.
But you don't know with whom?
No, it was none of my business.
I'm looking for Warehouse 36. Do you know where it is?
Look, it's right there. The warehouse is opposite the jetty. You can't miss it.
Understood.
You know who the building belongs to, don't you?
You tell me.
I thought you would have worked it out. It belonged to Charles Hawkins. Ship owners from father to son.
I see. That explains those loading manifests. Too bad I can't get much out of them. I think that somebody here wanted me to search this warehouse. I was looking at your photograph. The one of the man in front of the boat.
Ah, yes, I can see the one you're talking about.
Interesting resemblance. I thought it was you, but with a wooden leg.
And for good reason. That's my father in the photograph.
Your father?
John Fitzroy, captain of the Scylla. His wooden leg is here. You can go and see it if you're interested.
I'm just back from the wharves. The dead killer whale is unsettling the sailors.
Ah, yes. Us men of the sea are superstitious folk.
The police took the decision to put the killer whale back into the sea.
You've got to understand them. They didn't know what to do with it.
I think that was a mistake. Who says that whatever caused those wounds is no longer in these waters?
You think we should have kept it?
To look into the real cause of its death, at least. I examined its wounds. I know of no creature able to cause them.
And I took you for a detective.
Believe me when I say that these wounds are significant.
Come. You've only just arrived on Darkwater, and already you think like a sailor.
The miraculous catch. Is it a local legend?
Not at all. It's an episode from our glorious past. Go read the story of the sailor's return to Darkwater Harbor. It's displayed on a wall of the stranded whale.
I shall be on my way.
So come back and see me when you've got something new.
You saw what happened with those sailors. Don't hang around here unless you want trouble with the bootleggers.
This warehouse looks abandoned. Why does it interest them so much?
No doubt a question of territory, but I ain't asking. You want to know more, go ask the captain.
Good. Thank you. I shall take my leave. It looks like there's a way in under this grate. This ratchet device seems to be usable. A handle. It must come from these old winches. A whale vertebra. If the newspaper clipping in the bar is true, this bone is a real fossil. I could use this old winch to lift the grating.
Where do you think you're going?
I thought that the Hawkins case had been closed.
That's true.
So what are you doing on guard duty in front of this warehouse?
Who's asking the questions here, the cop or the tourist?
Who are these others so interested in the warehouse?
And why would I tell you?
I'd like to know more about the Hawkins case.
I don't think so.
What more can you say about the death of the Hawkins family?
Not much more than what everyone knows. I wasn't on the case. They were all burnt to death, right? Up at their place.
The whole mansion went up in flames.
Don't get it into your head to go wandering around up there. It's dangerous.
What do you mean by that?
The only one left there is old Silas, and the accident has affected him badly. He can be unpredictable, especially if a stranger starts poking around the property.
Is he a danger to the public?
No, he's in his own home. Do yourself a favor. Leave him well alone. You again. I told you to beat it.
No need to get worked up. You live here?
Why did you do that, huh?
We saw what you did to St. Brendan.
Yeah, we'll teach you to come onto our island and ridicule our protectors.
I've never heard of this saint. Is it a local belief?
But everyone knows St. Brendan, the Navigator.
He's the patron saint of whales and whalers.
What happened to the statue?
Go see for yourself. He's at the end of the jetty.
There's you, our beloved statue, and then those two bozos behind us. Wait, now that I think about it, it's got to be them. There's one of them who's always going back and forth to the statue.
Quieter. That's all we need for them to hear us.
What brings you to Darkwater?
Isn't it a bit early for alcohol?
We got nothing better to do anyway. There's not much work around here.
Fitzroy gives us a few chores every now and again, but since the whaling station shut down, ain't a lot of jobs left around here.
So we drink.
Peculiar house.
Yeah, that's where we live. Our boat.
It's not because it doesn't float anymore that we're going to abandon it.
That statue represents your local saint.
What do you mean by local, exactly?
You wouldn't be looking down at us, like all townspeople do.
St. Brendan. He protected whalers and fishermen like us. Until those assholes defaced him.
The two guys behind you. What are they guarding?
The bootleggers. Scum.
They're protecting their territory. From whom, I wonder?
They really don't have a choice anyway. They're more scared of Cat than an attack by drunken sailors.
If only they would kill each other.
This Cat you mentioned. Is she their boss?
Hold on just a minute. We didn't tell you a thing.
Nothing at all.
I've taken enough of your time.
We'll see you later.
Damnation. I broke it. St. Brendan, patron saint of sailors and travelers. Desecrated. I can't even say which language it's written in. It's no use. The padlock won't give.
No, if it gets out, I'll have serious problems with you-know-who.
I bet that you hid them somewhere in your hut on the docks.
Not even. And don't go...
How could you be dumb enough to leave the entrance to the warehouses unguarded?
Keep your voice down. Why not go and shout at the cat while you're at it? I don't want to end up with her little knife under my throat.
It's a stiletto, you idiot. And with that smell on your breath, I don't give you much chance anyway. Who's this guy?
No idea. You better keep it shut. What's with you wandering around here like a hungry dog?
We saw you talking to the two soaks. Go die of thirst, the lot of you. It'll stink less.
I've got to enter the Hawkins warehouse. I guess it's gonna be complicated.
No, it's very simple, in fact. Fuck off.
I don't give a damn about your racket. I just want to get into this warehouse.
And we don't give a damn about you. Whatever your reason for wanting inside, there's nothing we can do for you.
I went to see the statue of St. Brendan.
What makes you think we did it?
We're bootleggers, not savages.
Who do you think defaced the statue?
What do I know? They could have done it by themselves.
The sailors.
Who else, in your opinion? And who's interested?
Kat. She's your boss.
What? You listen through keyholes?
She's the boss, yeah. She says who goes in or not.
Shut up, you dummy. You wanted to know that you also talk too much.
She must be quite intimidating if she can make two men like you tremble.
She redid the smile at the last one who wanted to get in.
I hope he had a good dentist.
No, you don't understand. She really cut him a new smile.
But he only smiles with the left cheek.
So, who are you?
Are you stupid or are you doing it on purpose?
Everybody knows us on Darkwater.
I've just arrived.
Let's just say we're standing guard for the owner of the site. And we let no one enter her property.
What are you guarding, exactly?
Listen, bonehead, we already told you that we're guarding our boss's turf.
She sounds frightening, your boss.
And she doesn't like to be talked about behind her back.
I've got to get inside. It's your boss who sent me.
Oh, yeah? And why didn't she say anything to us?
She sent me to see who's filching her stock.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You got no proof to back up your claims, and I'd advise you against snitching.
If I can't get rid of those two, I'll have to look for another way. These wounds. I know of no animal that could have inflicted them.
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters! You're crazy!
Cops, they can't understand.
We're no longer at home on our own island.
Calm down. It's not worth the effort.
I told him, that flunky, that he'll see what a real sailor has in his belly.
If you continue like that, everyone will see what you've got in your belly.
I hope so. I hope they don't forget the lesson. Me? I'm not scared of some girl.
I mean they're going to cut you open, you idiot. Calm down.
You're back again. What can I do for you?
Apparently, the bootleggers don't want anyone hanging around the warehouses.
They're part of the private property I mentioned earlier.
And yet the place looks abandoned. Why guard the entrance?
As a precaution, I suppose. All the warehouses are more or less interconnected by old sewers.
You mean that there's a way to go from one to the other by tunnel?
I couldn't tell you if it's still the case today for all the warehouses on the island, but I think I can imagine what you've got in mind. You can always visit them if you're not the claustrophobic type.
Prohibition is just a joke around here. That suits me fine.
You saw what happened with those sailors. Don't hang around here unless you want trouble with the bootleggers.
I shall take my leave.
What? Another break? I told you to beat it.
Charles Hawkins was a heavy drinker. And a debtor. Interesting.
Not sailors. It's a sign. There's something coming. Something real bad.
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy.
They're cops. They can't understand.
Well, well, look who's back.
Did you miss us?
I have an offer that could interest you.
We're listening.
I need you to keep them busy for a while.
You send us to take the punishment while you go quietly about your business. What's in it for us?
What would convince you to help me?
There's only one thing that'll get us to move.
For sure. Bring us something to drink and we'll take care of the bootleggers.
Liquor?
Exactly.
I'll try to find some for you.
They can't understand.
Damn stupid idiots.
Forget it. Nobody listens to us.
What can I get you?
Let's say I want to buy a bottle from you.
Choice is yours. Everything's on sale.
What would you say to a deal? Your bottle for a service.
It's $5 for everyone, including you.
Are you sure?
Certain.
I guess I'm not desperate.
I'm not judging you.
That'll be all for now.
Damn stupid idiots.
Forget it. Nobody listens to us anyway.
So, have you got what we asked you for?
Here.
Now, sit back and enjoy our performance. Follow me. Cheers, you jackass.
I don't feel well.
Hey, where are you going?
I hope for your sake that I didn't hear.
No, it's not what you think. It's just that you sell your stuff at too high a price.
Let's see. Shoot. I'll have to find another way to get in. It's no use. The padlock won't give.
Well, well. A little mouse has got lost on our turf. You're not only inquisitive, you're also stupid. What gave you the crazy idea to come onto my turf?
Your turf? That's news to me.
For a guy who has no idea, you've been doing a fair bit of poking around. My men saw you staking out the Hawkins warehouse.
Is that against the law?
I'm no idiot, Detective. I'll tell you how things work around here. I decide who comes in and who stays out. And anyone who doesn't respect my rules, I punish them.
As you wish.
If you've broken my nose...
I was careful. This time.
Do you want us to take care of him, Cat?
No, not yet. You don't lack nerve, and you've got a fairly good right. I'm always on the lookout for well-built guys to work for me.
I'll make a note of it.
Please do. I'm Cat. I run the neighborhood. Everyone marches to my tune here. Rather than foolishly risking your skin, come and see me in the bar one of these days. We can talk about what I can do for you, and what you can do for me.
I want to tan his hide.
Tan my what? Oh, no, it's okay. Don't worry. I'm okay now. Please.
Oh, yeah? What I heard didn't sound too friendly to me.
No, please. My tongue got ahead of my senses, or something like that. Hey, tell him to calm down.
Me? And why would I do that?
It was just a little joke.
So I mustn't have understood it because it didn't make me laugh. You don't like our prices, it's gonna cost us anyway. That's no way to treat an omen.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Mitchell. A drink for our new friend. I think it's time to talk business.
No hard feelings?
For a lucky little blow? You think I gotta be boss of these lads without taking any hits? It will serve as a lesson. I was too soft with you. Next time, I'll hit first. Tell me, what brings you to Darkwater?
I'm fascinated by the history of the whaling station.
Ha! You certainly don't lack style. But enough of the jokes. You reek of private eye. Who did you come for?
The Hawkins family.
Now why doesn't that surprise me? A little advice, though. If you want to survive more than a day in this rat hole, avoid talking about them to the first people you meet.
I've got a few questions about the island.
I'm not here to give you information. Mitchell will tell you what he wants to tell you.
Is that more dangerous than having a drink with you?
I'm not kidding. The old families, they were here long before us, and they'll be here long after we're gone.
The old families?
The descendants of the first whalers. These people truly worship their ancestors.
I need to get into the Hawkins warehouse.
You're out of luck. It's on my turf.
It's precisely for that reason that I've come to see you.
Are you pulling my leg?
Think it over. I've seen what you're capable of. You almost got me.
I accept the compliment. Well, I see you're serious. To be honest, as long as it doesn't interfere with my business, I don't care. But I'll go with you, to make sure you don't stick your nose into things that don't concern you.
Sounds honest to me.
I'm not finished. If I do that for you, if I let you onto our turf to conduct your little affairs, you'll be indebted to me, and I guarantee that I always collect on what I'm owed. Think about it. I help you, you'll owe me a favor in return. Do you accept?
Do I have a choice?
Oh, we always have one, Detective. Follow me.
You've got no problem going out looking like that.
How sweet of you to worry about my authority. I wouldn't be here if I was the sort of girl who'd hide away because of a black eye. People here know who they're dealing with. They watch their step.
I was given to believe that Fitzroy stood up to you.
That dope tried to save face in front of his sailors. They revere their brave captain as they do their old statues. But sooner or later, all statues get buried in bird shit, and nobody cares.
And the police? They do nothing to stop you?
The local cops? The cops drink like everyone else, sweetheart. They know where their interests lie. Apart from that pig-headed Bradley. I don't know whether to admire his stubbornness or to have pity on him. It's fine. He's with me.
Oh, okay.
That's how it's done. Do I still need to hold your hand? Or do you think you'll get by on your own now?
Don't overdo it.
Good. In that case, I'll leave you. I've done enough mothering for now.
Ugh, this place stinks. What is the connection between this place and the Sarah Hawkins case? What is this picture of Charles and Sarah Hawkins doing here? Is this one of Sarah Hawkins' paintings? It smells as bad as it looks. Who has enough money to buy painkillers, but stays in a place like this? Can't sleep. I know how that feels. What happened here?
Someone has settled in here.
And whoever it is has something to tell me about the Hawkins case. Is there anyone in there? You! Don't move! Detective Pierce. I told you to stay away from this warehouse.
You seem like a competent officer. We should help each other.
You're trying to manipulate me, Mr. Pierce. I hate to be taken for a fool.
All right, Inspector Lestrade. Let me take a more direct approach. Can you explain what this painting is doing here?
This strange portrait. Wait, I know it. It was in the Hawkins mansion when we came to investigate the fire.
So you confirm that it was removed from the crime scene? Interesting. I'd like to go and see the mansion now.
Of course. You want to go back along his trail? I'd like to understand how this painting made it to here. Come on. My car's parked down the way. Andrews, would you please shut the door? And open your eyes, damn it. This guy went right under your nose. God damn it. Her again. This case has nothing to do with you, Baker. Clear the passage or I'll shut you up for obstruction.
Officer Bradley, you've finally grown a pair. Too bad you're too fat to see them down there.
Why, you?
Come on, keep the smile. You don't want to force me to widen it.
Looks like you've met your match, Baker. I'd like to see that more often.
Okay, I get it. Can we go to the mansion now?
Get this jackass out of here before I stroke his other cheek. But we'll meet again.
Is it far, this mansion?
Look behind you, at the top of the ridge. You see the building? That's the Hawkins mansion. Come on, we got some driving to do.